Hi, Catherine. How you doing? Okay, thanks so much for getting your fire and ice in. So I think you've done craft is great. First of all, craft is really good. Real nice job there. Um, the the fill, the actual color of the fill is so consistent. It's almost it's incredible. It really is. You did a really nice job with craft. In terms of letter shapes and spatial relationships, I think also again very nice job. Good job on your bracketed serifs. The one thing I'm not seeing is your mean line and cap line, and I say that the reason I say that is because there are some differences between your your mean lines, your X heights of a lot of your letters. And now I know you probably were shooting for overshoot right there, but it looks like it's clearly a larger letter than the E. Okay, so that's one thing I would say. Now, and again, the N looks visually looks much smaller than the D, and I think because the D resides right on the baseline with no overshoot to speak of. So again, it's one of those optical illusions that we've been talking about for a few days now. In terms of letter spacing itself goes, I think that the obvious area of concern is the word fire. The F and the I are so far apart, and with this open area right here, this negative space, it again creates another illusion that this area is much further than it actually is. So in order to counter for that, this I has to get tucked in pretty good. The problem is going to be where the dot for the I encroaches on that serif. So you have to watch that area, but nonetheless, that has got to be really pushed in there. Once you do that, you'll see the rest will fall in line. There's an old rule kind of that says, unwritten rule, I should say, that says, when you're kerning a statement or a headline or a small, subhead or a small group of words, look for the problem area, kern the problem area, and then go from there. So I would say right now, the problem area is the word fire specifically. I think that the word fire would definitely, you'll see some real changes once you pull that I in closer to the F. Then you'll see this space will really widen out. You'll really see how you have to close that down, then close that down. Once you do that and you establish good letters spacing between words, then the A, N, and D, those will fall in place as well. So what you're going to shoot for there is the A and N just a little bit closer. And then the N and the D, that D's got to get pulled in closer to the N, because don't forget what we learned during week 1 and this week about that, straight vertical letter forms meeting up with curved letter forms create an illusion, again, that would need that to be pulled in to overcome that illusion that these two letters are much further apart than they actually are. Okay, so in essence, and then ice, I think you really have a lot of room right there. Once you pull that T in, you'll see what happens here. You're going to have to pull that in. So I guess in essence, I think you're really super loosely kerned through the whole thing, specifically the word fire. I would tighten down everything. And really, you can clearly see that the letter spacing in general is wider. Now, from our studies, what is that called? Not the space between letters, but the whole word in general. So in other words, you have kerning is adjusting the space in between each individual letter, while this term is adjusting the whole word in at the same time. And that's called tracking. And this would require tracking and kerning to get those much closer. And then, so those all need to be closer. The A, little bit. The D definitely needs to get tucked in there. And then that C really has to come closer to the E, and then the I, and then E will follow. Okay, so again, great job on craft. Generally, I think one other thing I wanted to mention is that you watch your strokes. Okay, the distance of this stroke right here, the distance between near the baseline is much greater than it is, let's say right here, just above the mean line. Okay, so that's really important, and we see that phenomenon again right here in the A. We were like that. Now I know there's a taper there. I know that these are tapered, and there are differences, and we can clearly see that on that axis of the D. But definitely there are some inconsistencies. So watch that. Okay. Other than that, great job. Any questions at all, please feel free to give me a holler. Thank you.